Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Dizer. I'm here with my Damie Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's get right to the news. So many good things to talk about.
Okay.
I'm pumped. Vancouver Sun this morning, major article on anti-aging. New drugs coming out. I shouldn't say new. Old drugs being studied for new purposes. Many researchers are looking into how can we extend the life of humans and what are the mechanisms we need to do, what do we need to use, and I think everyone's interested in this. I don't know how you feel about this. I don't think it's good, but
I don't think it's good or bad, but I just think let's first focus on quality of life and healthy humans, and then let's focus on longevity.
I get it.
Because right now we're at a real crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we need to focus on obesity, like getting rid of obesity, rid of diabetes, lowering cancer.
Well, it's so funny that you say that because the reason this is coming to light is because it's all about the drug metformin, which is a diabetes drug.
Mm-hmm.
People who have diabetes who take metformin, it's a great drug, does a really good job of balancing blood sugar. They live longer. Wow. And oftentimes they live longer than their counterparts who don't have diabetes, who are the same age. Recent study, people on metformin, they lived 8 years longer than those who didn't have diabetes, who were in the same general health category otherwise as them. Anyhow, they're looking further into what is going on with metformin. Why are people living longer? And so they're using it on doing research with it. They found that they could significantly extend the life of roundworms, which was a major breakthrough.
Okay.
And now next year, the first trial of 3,000 people in the U.S. ages 70 to 80 will be taking metformin for an extended period of time, and they'll be tracking how long they live.
I guess what comes to mind is that video of that woman that was, what was she, 110?
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, that was a great video. I love the videos of the centenarians.
So they said to her, it's your birthday and the news is there. Are you excited? Are you looking forward today? And she's like, no. And they're like, what do you like to do? And she was like, nap. Like, you know what I mean? So it
was so funny.
It was so funny. And the filter's gone, obviously. But I'm more interested in quality of life over quantity. Because, I think we've all known people that have lived extended long times that aren't actually living or, having enjoyable quality of life. And that's really sad.
Yeah.
Preserving longevity, I just don't believe is as important as living a vibrant life. Obviously, we don't want everybody passing away at a young age. That's,
No, I completely agree.
But I think it's more, I don't know why we still haven't got to let's just give everyone the information to be healthy and stop these big companies from lying about what makes people healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
but at the same time, I want to say too, because I think, a lot of people that are, naturopathic doctors or holistic nutritionists come off, or maybe they do represent that they are completely against modern medicine and medications. You and I are not of that school. We know that we're here because of penicillin, and we honor all modern medicine. What we're here to, promote is not abusing medications.
Of course.
And we would never deny any type of modern medicine or the use of any modern medicine that could make life better.
No, for sure. Metformin is a drug I prescribe. It's a great drug.
Yeah, and that's something I want to be clear about, because I think there's still confusion out there that, people that work in the natural side of things, that we don't believe in medicine. I think I can't speak for anybody else, and there's probably people out there that don't, but we believe in what works.
Well, I'm thrilled about this research.
Really?
Yes, because the reports are that they're expecting that they can extend human lifespan from 80 years to 120, and it's only 25 cents a day. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. The way it works is metformin allows more oxygen into the cell. So what happens as we age is that the metabolism in the cell can't keep up with the turnover. So adding extra oxygen to the cell allows it to have that extra energy source it needs to stay more vibrant longer. And yeah, I mean, the studies are being done all over the place. There's one study being done in Concordia here in Canada, looking at willow bark, which is a herb that was used by Hippocrates for many things. The university is studying it for its anti-aging capacities, and it's really interesting because it's been used for thousands and thousands of years, and many of our drugs originate from willow bark because of the salicylates. You're right. So it's really exciting. It's being done all over the place. But, you know, there obviously are challenges. I mean, with an aging population, it changes things. We want people to age in a healthy way.
Yeah, we want people to live a vibrant life. Be happy and be able to participate in society. Definitely.
I'm thrilled about it. We'll see how it goes. We have so much more to talk about today. I don't know how interested you'll be, but I'm thrilled.
I'll participate.
Oh, one more thing. The videos of the people who make it to 100, 110.
Yes.
Often, if you watch a bunch of them, you'll see that the women will say, when you ask them, how did you live to 100? They'll say, oh, I didn't marry.
Yeah, I think that's stress.
We've seen that so many times.
Well, and what I would take from that is, I think that stress kills people. So for a lot of people, staying in a relationship that isn't functioning or working can, suck the life right out of you.
Literally.
Right? So I think that they see like, well, I didn't get into that.
Right.
And probably, some people, I mean, it's not kosher to talk about, but some people don't have joy in having children. I know that you're supposed to, and that's the natural thing and no one wants to say it, but I mean, I know people that have children that it hasn't been a great experience for them. They wouldn't call it the highlight of their life. Let's put it that way.
Right, yeah.
So maybe these people are in tune with that. They weren't the type of people to marry or have children, and they didn't.
They're honest about it.
And they're like, it worked out.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
it's so funny. Those videos are great.
Yeah, those videos are great. And that speaks to also knowing yourself and what works for you and what you want in your life. And you don't have to go with societal norms.
Exactly.
We're all different, and our paths should all be different.
This next study is about breast cancer. I mean, we've been talking a lot about cancer prevention and cancer treatments, what's going to happen this next year, and how we're moving things forward. And things are actually moving forward in terms of cancer treatment. It's happening more than I've ever seen it before, and I stay up on these things. We've had many debates about what's being done with the cancer research money and all these things, and now I'm actually seeing some things coming out. Most recently is in the nanotechnology field. They found a way to send chemo drugs to tumor cells more effectively so they can just kill the one cell they want to kill. They're attaching doxorubicin, which is a chemotherapeutic, to these microscopic silicone discs. And they found a way to get these discs into tumor cells, and when they get in there, then they release the drug. And they did it on mice, and the mice lived what would have been 50% of the mice in this trial lived what would be equivalent of 24 more human years after doing it. They all had terminal breast cancer. It wasn't just any old breast cancer. It was actually diagnosed as being terminal mice breast cancer. They gave them these discs, and 50% or more. So even if it works a little bit on terminally ill patients, things are going to change. The studies won't begin until next year, but it's going to be really promising. And this is just one of a few things that are coming out for breast cancer. So something to look forward to for the research and for the future of our profession. Yeah, nanotechnology. But nanotechnology is being, it's been in the media for a long time, like movies. You've seen like different types of nanotechnology have been all over the place, but now it's being actually brought mainstream.
Mm-hmm. Like it was used in a sci-fi.
Like
type.
Sci-fi, you put a computer in your blood, it goes around, does things.
And now it's actually happening.
Now we're doing it.
Wow.
So weird.
It's great.
This last one here is about kids. And now every time I see a study about kids, my eyes are on it. I can't help it.
So you're focused on children's studies now.
Yes. If you don't know, we made a huge announcement last week. We're having a baby.
And if you don't know, also David is very excited.
And we now know that we'll be having our ultrasound in 1 month. So we will know the gender.
Yes, that's true too.
So many things happening here.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever a child study comes up, especially along the lines of, how do you make your kid the smartest kid on the planet?
Here we go.
What do you do?
Uh-huh.
Where do you start?
Mm-hmm.
So this one study comes up. I don't know if this was a study or not. Maybe it was just someone's opinion. I should probably look more into that.
Yes.
But the point is, there's very good rationale physiologically. How to improve the intelligence of your children. And they're saying this one opinion, and I think it's along the proper lines, is you have them learn another language. And this goes against what conventional wisdom was in this area. Conventional wisdom was when you are learning another language, it doesn't allow you to access other areas of the brain at the same time. You're hyper focused on this one language, which we know is using a specific area of the brain to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought that it wasn't beneficial for overall intelligence, cognition, that type of thing. But now they're finding that it actually is. And the reason being, when you're learning another language, your brain is, yes, having to balance between learning the new language and what it means in your current language, and then going back and forth. And it's very difficult, and it's stressful, and all these things. But what happens is the brain starts to figure out how to regulate these connections itself. So it starts to do the sorting. So the children, they're just by studying a new language, because they already know their own language very, very well, their brain has to adapt. It has to begin to learn how to plan, how to organize, how to shape, how to use this new language based on what they already know about their own language. So they're saying it makes them better problem solvers. It makes them better thinkers. It helps with their focus. It helps with everything.
Well, we have she's actually our cousin, but I call her my niece because she's the same age as my nieces and nephews. She's bilingual. Mm-hmm. She's been in the French immersion program since what age?
Since the very start. Yeah.
I have letters from her from when she was, oh gosh, she was maybe 7 to 8 years old. She was young, and I'll save them forever because half the letters written in English and half is written in French, and I don't mean like within one sentence. She just throw French words in.
Right.
They're the sweetest things
so cute.
that I've ever witnessed, because it was just that was how her brain was working at the time. Like, she's now very fluent in both, but they're the most endearing, sweet letters. Mm-hmm. So I guess she could teach them. And you're bilingual as well, but you became bilingual as an adult, so
right. Yeah, it's a little different.
I wonder, what would be the most applicable second language here, because French here isn't like when we lived on the East.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
We lived 40 minutes away from a predominantly French community, so it made more sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And Canada is supposed to be a bilingual country, but it's strange when you get to the West because there's just not a lot of French.
Mm-mm. No, not at all. So, like when you speak about our cousin or niece like that, it brings up the other things the author is saying in this article. The article's on Inc.com, but I agree with what's being said. And the next thing is better communication skills, better emotional intelligence. And the reason being, they've already mapped out the areas in the brain that help them with actually getting the point across in the new language, which reshapes it in the old language to be very clear, right? Like there's this reflection now. So the communication skills skyrocket. This is exactly what I mean, and I'm saying this because I need to know myself.
I wonder if sign language will fall under this category, because I know a lot of moms teach their babies sign language now.
Yeah, I bet. That's a great idea.
When I was little, I was fluent in French and sign language.
Wow. That's why you're such a good problem solver.
Right, but now I'm terrible at French, and I only really retained the alphabet from sign language.
Yes, but maybe it didn't matter.
I should have kept practicing, really.
No, but maybe it didn't matter. Maybe just learning that at a young age allowed you to form these connections and form these habits in the brain of how to fire a specific way so that you can hold focus longer. You can be a good problem solver. You can think creatively. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Now we have to figure out what language to teach our kid.
Yes, let's focus on that for the next few months. That you know what? The heck with everything else. Let's do this.
I think it makes sense. I'm excited. I mean, there's been lots of things come out about video games for kids and how they can actually be helpful for developing brain function.
You'll have to send those to my sister.
For sure. I mean, all parents, we just assume that video games are bad, but it's not necessarily the truth.
And I think it also depends on the video game.
Oh, does it ever?
If it's killing and negative, then, I mean...
Yeah, there's obviously a stress response, and we don't want to do,
Well, I mean, the other thing is that I always come back to is, we're so sensitive about children seeing, sex on TV. Yet, if you turn on your TV at any time of day, you could see another person kill another person. And you hope in your child's life they never witness, ever, anybody killing anybody. Or participate in killing another human. Yet that's kind of becomes socially acceptable to see. And then sex is something that you hope that when they're an adult, they have a healthy, happy sex life. Yep, that's forbidden to witness. Like, I find that we're really messed up.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, I definitely will not let our child participate in the visualization of murder.
No, absolutely.
No matter what that is, television, video games.
Oh, it's really something. I mean, I was watching a story the other day where a woman from the South took her 4-year-old child, I think it was 4, maybe even younger, to the shooting range and was shot an Instagram video or an Instagram photo while they're at the shooting range, and they're sort of propping the kid up and bragging that the kid loved it there, basically. And then they get in the truck, they go home, and 30 minutes later, when they get home, the child picks up the gun in the truck and shoots her. Kills her.
You're not... First of all, I don't think he did kill her. Second of all...
She didn't die?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
The second part of the story that you're not... She's an NRA activist.
Oh, gosh.
So she was bragging about how she loves weapons and that her 4-year-old is amazing with weapons. And, I mean...
Strange. Anyways, I'm glad she didn't die. That's good.
I don't think she did. What I read, she didn't at the time anyway.
Good.
But how upsetting.
Oh, for sure. So, I mean, yes, we don't want to make it normal to envision these types of things for kids. No, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
You never want them to think it's normal. No. You don't want to normalize it. You never want them to think... that's one thing about society that really confuses me. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, we've covered a few things today, but I'm really excited about the metformin research.
Yeah, that is.
I'm thrilled. There's one final thing I wanted to end with, and that's exercise on an empty stomach. I want to get your opinion about this. People are talking about this online. It's not necessarily...
It's not new.
More research or new research. I mean, the studies show that when you exercise on an empty stomach compared with eating, it doesn't mean you actually burn fat stores quicker. It doesn't happen. However, you might perform better. For athletes, you may perform better, but it's up for debate depending on what you're doing.
What I've witnessed and what I suggest is it's pointless up until you are 5 pounds from your goal.
And why is that?
I don't know the science.
Wait,
because I know the basics of it. When you are, when you have a lot of weight to lose, anywhere from, say, not even a lot, but say 15 pounds or more. There's just no point in going super, super strict right away. Because the fact of the matter is, you're going to jump the gun. And so what I mean by that is, you start out with the basics, And then as your body stalls at burning fat, then you up it a little bit. But if you go straight to the end, then your body's going to get used to that. So if you're like dieting like a person that has, the last 2 pounds to lose, that's trying to get those abs right away, and you have 30 pounds to lose.
No, I completely agree.
First of all, you're going to stall, and then where are you going to go from there? You're going to have to go into a starvation diet, which never will last, which will have rebound, which will make you miserable, which will play horrible things on your hormones, the whole thing. So that's why with everything that I teach, it's a progression. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't need to progress. That's the other thing. Like, my programs are set up to kind of get more strict, but I've had people that have had, that's why checking in with me is so important as a coach, because sometimes you don't need to become more strict. I think that we've, been tricked into society of thinking, like, if you're going to look good, it's going to be a struggle. And, like, we've made it seem like it's this magical, hard, whatever thing. But the reality is, like, it's just work, commitment, and consistency. And for a lot of people, you don't have to go like a crazy person. That being said, if that person has this specific goal, and say, especially when you're getting as lean as, and I say 5 pounds as in the people that like want those abs, want that clarity. What I see is first thing in the morning, if they go fasted and do their cardio and do the, high intensity interval training, fasted cardio, I've seen the results come. Is it directly related to that, or is it just the type of person that's getting out there and doing that first thing in the morning and giving it their all and committed to just doing everything? I can't say.
Right.
It's worked for me, when I've been in lean down mode.
For sure, and I think you bring up a really good point here. When you're looking at metabolism and you're looking at these types of studies, measuring actual metabolic activity, you're not going to find these differences you're explaining. You're not going to study, people who have, 30 pounds to lose versus people who have 2 pounds to lose. Who's using what fat stores and when. Those studies are not being done.
No.
You're exactly right. It's all about what works for you.
Right.
And this is what you've seen, and I'm totally into it.
And I'm not saying just for a little while. I'm talking about 8 years working with thousands and thousands of people.
Exactly.
And my own body and your body, and like what works. So it has its time and place, I think.
Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, you have to know yourself. There'll be people that just read on the internet. They have 30 pounds to lose, and then they'll email me, well, I heard fasted cardio is good, or I heard I need a pre-workout, whatever, added on. It's just all a bunch of malarkey to a certain point. First of all, if you're not an endurance athlete, if you're not, if their goal isn't super, super tight, then you just eat healthy, on plan. You just do the workouts, and as it falls, and do your best.
Yes.
Those timing things aren't as important.
We're not Olympic athletes here. We're not doing a specific... And the different workouts change the different requirements nutritionally as well. I mean, everything is very specific.
It is. But at the same time, there are general rules, and that's why working with someone that can just tell you what to do at this certain point, I think is so important, because there's just so much misinformation. Because a lot of these people come to me because... I heard you have to eat this before you work out, or I heard you have to have this after you work out, and it's just not applicable to 99.9% of people, and it drives me crazy but it's being marketed to everyone.
I know, and what it does is it increases stress around, and then
it
prevents you from doing. I'm not doing this, so I might as well not do anything.
Right, you see the fitness model or the famous actress holding the bar, and she's got the abs. She's always looked amazing. She probably doesn't eat it. First of all. There's the biggest secret of So sticking to what works and not jumping the gun, that's why it's kind of confusing, because some of these things do work, but they have a certain slot where they should be used, and then other times, and they're not applicable to most people and most of us.
Right.
So, do I do fasted cardio? Maybe once every 2 years. Like if I have something I'm going to, and I will do it for 2 weeks.
Right.
Never more than that. Because, and it's only, the only time I'm fasted is I would have my supper, sleep all night, get up first thing in the morning, and drink my water, go do cardio.
Then have your breakfast.
And have my breakfast probably 15 minutes after.
Nice.
And that's all I would ever recommend to anyone.
Because it's not that serious.
It's not that serious, but like I said, when I do use it in those moments of when I want to be really tight and really lean, it does work. Now, is it just because I'm overly committed?
Right.
Is it because I'm just doing those last 4 weeks of the bikini body and everything's falling into place? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But that adding in that one little thing makes me feel like I'm killing it.
Yes, for sure. Well, you feel so light and lean and you feel like you can go. And that's what the reports are about athletes. Low calorie or no calorie before activity. There is some benefit, but you have to manage it. It's on a case-by-case basis because you need fuel.
Yeah.
But also you want to optimize performance, and having a heavy meal or a high-carb meal before performance is not going to be helpful, contrary to all the carb loading that happened in the 90s, and it's not.
But the other flip to that is I've seen people try the fasted cardio and they just can't physically do it.
Right.
And they're doing crappy workouts.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't work out. It's not going to pay off.
Agreed.
So you have to know if it works for you. If you're just kind of getting to the gym.
Oh, it's not something you just try on championship game day. No.
Also, you don't lift weights fasted.
No, that's what I was trying to say about being specific. There's with different workouts, it's going to be different requirements. And
you never do anything that could cause injury fasted either.
No, definitely.
When I do fasted cardio, I usually do high incline fast walking without holding on.
Mm-hmm.
Or I do sprints. But it would have to be but it doesn't mean you're fasted. I'm not hungry.
You're just not having a meal before the workout.
Right.
Exactly. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's Healthy Rebel Radio for today. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamiHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamiHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamiHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at DamiHealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us and see you tomorrow.